against the water in beautiful Key West, Florida. Still to come tonight, we will have our cruiserweight main event, Eric Fields and Kelvin Davis, a fight that surely Key West's most notable resident back in the day would have loved. Of course, this is the home of famed novelist and journalist Ernest Hemingway, won the Pulitzer Prize in 1953 for Old Man and the Sea, and was a great sportsman. Loved to fish and loved the fight game. In fact, back in the 1930s, he used to go to the Blue Goose Arena here in Key West and would referee fights in which the fighters would be paid 50 cents per round. Ernest Hemingway. Next up on Friday Night Fights, as we work our way towards Fields and Kelvin Davis, is 6 rounds between welterweights Cesar Vega and Ed Paredes. There is Cesar Vega, 30 years old, lives in Louisville. He is 10-12 with 2 knockouts, 5'7", 144 3/4. Most recently, he is coming off a July 2007 4-round loss in Pennsylvania to Scott McCracken. Ed Paredes is a young man who we have seen a few times in the past. He started his career back in 2004. He was just 19 years old back then. He is now 22, 5'10", 149. Lives in Hollywood, Florida, not far away from the Hard Rock where we were last week. And he was actually upset on a Friday Night Fight card by TKO last March from Gilbert Venegas. Since then, he has been on a 6-fight win streak. He is 17-2, and obviously a fan favorite here in South Florida. Teres Asamino is the referee.
In the dressing room. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourselves at all times. Your belt's looking good. Anything below here is a low blow. Shake hands. God bless.
Vega's record, his history would tell you he's an opponent. His body language, looking at him, to me, he looks like an opponent. Looks like he's thinking like an opponent. We'll see whether or not Paredes is thinking like a prospect.
Like one of those guys that used to make 50 cents a round here in Key West back in the day?
Yeah, the milk was cheaper too, and so was the bread. Everything was less back in those days.
So Vega and Paredes. Paredes in the blue with the white trim.
Sometimes when you're an opponent, you stay away and you try to survive. Sometimes you run right into the rappel of the plane and try to get it over with. We'll see whether or not that's what Vega's trying to do from the southpaw stance right now. Just because you're coming forward doesn't mean you're confident. Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes it means, again, you just want to not face it too long.
See if that's the case here with Vega.
Vega's been inactive 6 months, Joe. He's lost 3 of his last 5.
He's been TKO'd 3 times in his career among those 12 losses.
All of Paredes' wins have come against soft opposition. The good news for him, I believe he's in with soft again tonight.
Covers up against that attack from Vega. No threat so far.
Paredes should start to be a little bit more assertive, not allow an opponent to get confidence, because that's what happens. And Paredes, the much bigger, stronger guy, start acting like it. He's been a junior middleweight and a welterweight his whole career. And Vega, junior welterweight most of his career.
In other words, if it's easy in front of you, make it look that way.
Yes.
Because that's the case here with Vega opposite Paredes. More aggression from Vega, but Paredes able to cover up. Now he opens up a bit more.
Most of Paredes' fights have been here in this state of Florida. He should be comfortable. Right now, Paredes should be concentrating on the body because he's seen that Vega knows how to at least survive defensively. He moves his head, that upper body pretty good. But the lower body, that doesn't move. be a good idea for Paredes to hit something down there.
Doesn't take advantage of that opportunity again. It was offered to him. Paredes only throwing 6 body shots so far in this first round. Now a short right hand forces Vega back, but he's still game, still the aggressor. And that right hand splits the guard of Cesar Vega.
Everywhere.
Welcome back to Friday Night Fights, presented by Just for Men. Round 2, scheduled for 6 between Cesar Vega and Ed Paredes. Ed Paredes, 17 wins in his career. Let's look at the Just for Men punch track numbers and key in on the jabs from that first round. You see Paredes was 13 of 31, Vega 4 of 25. By the way, Vega threw 92 punches in that first round.
You know, Vega has 23 fights, and he's never been past 6 rounds. That's a lot of fights to have, to never have been past 6 rounds. It tells you something about his level of talent and what, more importantly, his people think his level of talent is, that they keep him in the 6-round range.
Also kept him in not the most active of commissioned states, Kentucky, Washington, and Ohio. This is his first fight in Florida. Of course, Paredes based here in South Florida.
The thing that's helping Vega a little bit so far, it's his heart. He's showing heart. Let's give it to him. But it's also Paredes. Looks like he's looking for one shot.
You saw how devastating a one-shot power could be earlier in this ring. Randall Bailey, if you missed it earlier, scored a 5th-round knockout of Anthony Mora. A big right hand finished off Mora. He also scored a knockdown in the 4th round of that fight. And could have fireworks on our main event. Kelvin Davis, who has provided so many thrills through the years on Friday Night Fights, coming back after breaking his neck and his back in a freak accident in New Zealand, facing the undefeated prospect Eric Fields in our main event. That's still to come.
Paredes should stay a little bit on the outside. They could get full extension on those punches and use that power. Not smother himself. And again, put them together. If he puts them together, he probably gets rid of Vega.
That's what he's doing right here. He's looking to get rid of him with him up against the ropes. Vega game, throwing back.
It's up to Paredes now. Don't get smothered. If he gets smothered, Vega gets a rest. If he doesn't get smothered, Vega gets sent to the showers.
There's a big right hand from Paredes that sent back Vega, and he gets right into his chest again.
The headshots are working good, obviously, for Paredes. A well-placed body shot would not be a bad idea.
Vega showing some heart in the closing moments of this second round. More to come. Former cruiserweight titleist Kelvin "Concrete" Davis, his 2nd fight since his amazing recovery of a broken neck and back. He is moments away from facing Eric Fields. 10-0, but he's never been past 6 rounds. A 2-time national amateur champ, taking a big step